Hey, it's Elizabeth here, and welcome back to flip number 38. I just want to take a moment first to thank all of my new subscribers. I appreciate you being here and listening to my ramblings. Basically, what I do on this channel is show my Fobonichi. And a Fobonichi is an illustrated journal that is kept daily for me, and I've been doing it since January. I had joined Fobonichi Journalers on Facebook, and I'll link their channel down below. And so anyhow, this is my last book of the year. I use altered composition books. This is my 6th book because each of the composition books hold 2 months worth of journaling. So let's just get started. Okay, so where did we leave off? Okay, we left off here, and I had mentioned in the last flip through that I kind of changed my format a little bit. I haven't really changed my style because my style is still a colorful hot mess, but I changed my format in the way that I don't put the header up here just for this month of November. I am switching back because I don't like it. Yeah, I thought I'd try it out and just put these today is little sticker things in instead of doing the header up at the top. And what I have found is that for me personally, it's just more organized for me to have all of my information up at the top. There are a lot of times when I, design my page and then I forget to put the sticker or I forget to put my little positive quote or, whatever. So anyhow, yeah, that's going to change here for December, but anywho. Okay, so last time we were together, I was talking about my bum knee. Yeah, I had wrenched my knee somehow. I still have no idea what happened to it. So this day I was in bed with ice packs and heating pads and I could hardly walk. It was terrible. But when I was looking online for clip art and things like that about bum knees, I found the funniest thing, the funniest cartoon, and I'll bring it up to you there. See it? The doctor says, "No, that's what I call a bum knee." And you look at the old man's knee and it's a bum. I thought that was so funny. I love finding funny things online. And this was the Letterate November prompt. A life is measured in love. And then now on Thursdays, one of the other gals in the group was doing the list, and then now she's not doing the list. So we have somebody else in the group doing the list. And so the list for today was what were your 5 favorite outfits, and mine are PJs. That's what I wear usually because I really don't leave the house all that much. But I need to change that because, wearing PJs all day long is, while most people would think that that's, fun and a luxury, but yeah, when you're doing it every day, no, not so much. So this is the Bible study that I'm doing daily. I do it Monday through Friday, so on the weekends I don't have my Bible study area. This is the Thunkit for this week, and it was what would you like to be remembered as, and I would like to be remembered as a loving wife and doting mother. And then this day I was thankful for my big handsome being able to pick my son up from class. I was having a really rough week, month, year, whatever, however you want to call it. Anyway, yeah, between not being able to walk all that great because of my knee and my heartbeat was going crazy that week. I don't know what was going on. So on Thursday, usually my daughter brings my son home after class because they both have classes on that day. And she wasn't able to bring him home because she had volunteering after her classes. So I was totally freaking out that I just was not going to be able to drive to pick him up. And so thankfully my husband was able to leave work, go pick him up, bring him home, and then go back to work. So I was thankful for that. And my son got to come home that day. On this day here, up at the top is my Bible study for the week, and then 5 on Fridays. I can never remember what all the 5 on Fridays were, but basically it's a list that Sweet Allie puts together of 5 things. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. You go through your stash and find 5 things to work into your page. And I can't remember what they were, but obviously one of the things was about Bonfire Day or Bonfire Night, which is a celebration that they have over in the UK. And I had never heard of it that I know of. And so, yeah, I had to look it up. And so I just printed out the information about it. And I put learn something new every day. And so that was fun to learn about. And then I'm not sure if this was like a prompt or what it was, but it was something along the lines of, if you could have chosen your name, what would it have been? And my name is Elizabeth. I happen to like my name because I was named after my grandmother. And so I wrote the name Marin because it's a name that I just love. I just love the name Marin. And so, yeah, I wrote that if I'd ever had another daughter, I would have, or might have, named her Marin just because I like that name. I don't even know where it came from. I don't know where I heard it from, but I just like the name. And when I wake up, you are still with me. That was the letter at prompt for that day. And then I'm thankful for my sunshine's tender heart and his willingness to read to me in an attempt to calm me as I drive to co-op. We had co-op this Friday. My son takes one class and it's about a half an hour away. And just the day before, I hadn't even been able to, go pick my son up from class. So it had been just a bit difficult for me these past few days. And, but I was determined to drive to co-op. And, a lot of people say, well, why didn't you just have your son drive? Well, if I'm not feeling well already and anxiety's starting to kick in and all of that fun stuff, it's actually more, difficult to have somebody else drive because, it just intensifies the anxiety. So what my son does is he reads to me from a book that I have that I keep in my purse, and it's called Praying Through the Psalms, and it's just a book of prayers, prayers about hope, prayers about strength, prayers about fear, prayers about everything. And so he literally, from the time we leave our driveway to the time we get to co-op, he reads to me. Prayer after prayer after prayer after prayer. He reads aloud to me. So it just kind of calms me down. And so, yeah, by the time we got to co-op, I was feeling a little bit better. I spent the class time in the car just because I still wasn't feeling all that great. But then by the time co-op was over, he was able to drive home. So that was nice. So I was just thankful for him that day. Well, I'm thankful for him every day, but especially that day. And then on this day here, because I'd been having such a rough week, I hadn't been, doing my pages daily. And a lot of times what I do is I'll go in and I'll put my clip art in and I'll do all of my writing and everything. And then at a later time, I'll go back and play catch up and do everything in pen and color the pages and all that. So this day I was playing catch up. I'm like the catch up queen on the Fobonichi group. And then my husband wasn't feeling well. This was a Saturday. And he's still working crazy hours. So he was at work in the morning. But he came home early because he wasn't feeling well. So he had a football couch day. And that evening we were watching White Collar on Netflix. And I stayed up way too late watching YouTube videos. And I was thankful for Big Hansom's grocery shopping skills. He is the grocery shopper of the family. He's basically the shopper of the family, honestly. He does most of the shopping for everything. So So I'm thankful for that. He knows when all the sales start and when they end and all the BOGO things and all that kind of stuff. So that was that day. And then on Sunday, my husband was at work again, and I didn't feel like, writing and doing clip art and coloring and all that kind of stuff. So I just found a bunch of, clippings that I get from magazines. Oops, sorry for the glare. And I just cut them out and stuck them in things that I was feeling that day. And I was thankful for a quiet morning. My kids were, sleeping. They slept in. So yeah, I was glad that I just had the time just to sit down and look through my clippings and make a collage out of it. And then when I was watching YouTube last night, that's where this little thing here comes in. This is a painting I did, or a painting and drawing. It's a photocopy of it because she currently, sorry for the glare again, golly day, she lives in my art journal. And because I was watching all these YouTube videos last night, I was just so inspired to start art journaling again. And we'll see how that goes. So this girl is actually like my first legit girl that I've really ever drawn, like seriously attempted to draw. And yeah, I need a lot more practice. But let me see here. When I was watching all the YouTube videos the night before, I had stumbled across a group of ladies that were doing a team challenge called Fabulous Faces. And the group of women was Gina Ahrens, Michelle M., Cindy Utter, Letha Richardson, Nadine Hoved, and Ann Williamson, and Jerry Bellini. And so they had all gotten together, and they were using this book called Faces. I think it's a cloth, paper, scissors a book, magazine. And what they did was they went through the book and found a piece of art that they were inspired by, and then they did their own take on it. So while I was watching all the videos and enjoyed them all immensely, I really just enjoyed Cindy Utter's interpretation of her painting, and it was inspired in the magazine by Dina Wakley, I believe. And what she did was she kind of watercolored on the back of the page first and then drew her face over top of it. And that's kind of what I did, although I don't think I used watercolors because I didn't have any watercolors at the time. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say that. I do have watercolors, but they're the cheaper version from Michaels, I believe. And I love their colors, and it's a beautiful palette. It's just that when you paint with them, they dry chalky, and so it's very hard to draw and write over top of them. So I used my black Stabilo All pencil, which is a water-soluble pencil, and drew my first face. And so yeah, I was pretty happy with her. I need a lot of practice, so we're going to see how that goes. But I would like to begin an art journal book of just faces or something like that so I can continue practicing. And then this day here, we had biology, so it must have been a Monday. We do biology on Monday and Wednesday. And I'm just so thankful that I'm able to teach my son at home. I'm a homeschool mom. I taught my daughter. She's now in college, and my son, he graduates this year. So we were busy doing biology, learning about cells, and go the extra mile. It's never crowded. That was the letter at prompt that day. And my husband made some cabbage and potato soup for dinner, which was really yummy. And then my daughter and I, in the afternoon, when she got back from class, we were watching The Real. It's a TV show. I never turn on the TV during the daytime. I don't watch daytime TV. I don't watch TV hardly at all. I mean, generally, if we watch TV, it's, in the evenings for about an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. And anyway, so the reason we were watching The Real is because they were featuring Pinterest fails from YouTube videos. And on their show. And my daughter had done a Pinterest fail on her YouTube channel, so we were waiting to see if her little clip was going to be aired. They had emailed her and asked permission and all this kind of stuff. And unfortunately, it ended up not being aired, her little clip, because I think she just didn't get the paper in on time, or we didn't, or we weren't. You know, you always got to be wary when you get emails from people. I don't know. That's just a mom thing, I guess. But, you know, anywho, it was fun, though, just that she was contacted by Warner Brothers, and I think that's who it was, to be on the reel. So it was just, you know, fun even being part of that whole thing being picked. So, and here's my Bible study for that day. And then I was thankful because my knee was feeling a lot better. And then on this day here was at the top was my Bible study for the day. And then this was the Tangle Tuesday that we did the little tangle, I guess that's what you call it. And it's just a bad day, not a bad life. Good reminder. And here's Abigail. This is the second legit girl kind of that I attempted to draw. So I do like the way she came out. She has a little bun in her hair and she has little wispy hair coming around. And the background, I used an old background that was in my art journal from a while back that I could not stand. I didn't like the background, and so I just kind of like left it in there. But then as I was looking through the book, I thought, you know what, I could draw a girl on a girl on the page, and maybe it'll look a little better. So I like the way she came out. And then I'm thankful for the power of prayer. And then these here are pictures of orchids that I have growing in my backyard. And I just happen to be outside chasing my goofy dogs around the yard because they would not come in when I called them. And so, yeah, I just put Autumn and SoFlo because those are pictures of the pretty orchids that I have just growing in the trees. And then this day here was Veterans Day, and here's my Bible study. And then that day, it was actually interesting because I had gone out by myself, driven by myself. So that was a feat in and of itself. And so, yeah, I had to go get some stuff from the lab for my husband, some tests that he needed to do. And then right, of course, by the lab is the Dollar Tree, Michael's, Bed Bath & Beyond, and Office Max. And so, yeah, I was able to go and get a few things, run some errands, price some Christmas presents, all that kind of fun stuff. And then while I was at Michael's, I ended up getting a little, like a travel, I guess it's a travel version of watercolors, Winsor & Newton watercolors. So I'm excited to try those out. And every day is a chance to change your life, which is so true. And the prompt for that day, because it was Wednesday, I believe. See, here's one. Oh, no, there it is. Yeah, it was Wednesday. I was going to say, see, here's one of those days I forgot to put the today because I don't have my header up there. But there it is. The prompt for Whimsical Wednesday was, it was an open-ended question. I wish I had never blank. And so, yeah, I wish I had never started smoking. We're not going to even go there. I am, however, thankful for all the things that I love about my life. So, I am going to stop there for now. And thank you for sharing your time with me and listening to my ramblings. And I will catch you on the next flip.